Google's doing it again. If you're a business owner, a media buyer running Google Ads right now with smart bidding on, which means TCPA or TROS, you need to do this before August 17th, Monday, which is 10 days from now. Because the system needs to relearn things when you adjust targets, your deadline is pretty much now. So, let me show you what it is and what to do with it. Let's get into today's video. Hey, welcome back. My name is Jackie, co-founder of Navarre Partners, and we're here to help e-com business owners to scale with confidence. And if you've been following our content for a while now, please like and subscribe for future weekly content on marketing and media buying. And if you want us to take a look at your business and give you a growth strategy for free, click on the description right now, click on the link, and book a session with us today. Let's get into today's topic. Here's the thing, if you have campaigns that are limited by budget with its actuals outperforming your target CPA or ROAS, that is about to change. About 2 months ago, Jeannie Marvin made an update on her personal LinkedIn on Google dev team is making a change on how the bidding system works. So let's just say you have been performing better than your target and you've been throttling your budget with your target, and you don't know if you can scale or not with that limited by budget label on what kind of results you will get, because your target CPA or ROAS doesn't actually match what your actuals are. The new update is it will try to predict conversions based on your budget and match your CPA target with your actuals. So in good sense, Google is saying that they are making controls easier and making it easier for you to control your ROI based on your budget and your targets. So what this really affects is campaigns that are using smart bidding, and they are search, shopping, PMax, demand gen. Mostly people use CPA and ROAS. Those are the only two that people use. You don't really have to worry if you're using max conversion or max conversion value because there's no target throttling. So if you are using those two, you need to pay attention to this. So let me break it down how that actually works. First, we got 24 hours in a day. That's the distance of these campaigns. They will run 24 hours. Then you got your ad budget, which is the gas tank of your campaign. Then up to this point right now, you are telling Google how fast you can only be at. So that becomes a speed limit. It can go faster or it can get slower. Google is trying to throttle your budget by trying to hit that suggested target. It will go for the cheapest conversion first, and then there will be times it will go for higher conversions, and then the averages out to the actual, and it doesn't necessarily match your target. Now, the change that is coming in 10 days, if you have a $500 budget and you set it at 50, Google is just going to do that. So if it does get 10 conversions, then you're pretty much done for the day. And that's where limited budget actually becomes useful, because now you can scale and the CPA should be moving with the budget that you have set. So essentially, a target that is at $10 becomes 10, not 5, not 6, it becomes 10. A lot more predictable in that way. Here is a 3-step system we have formulated to mitigate this change. First of all is build an audit list. It may take very short time. You just have to filter your campaigns by limited by budget, and then the ones that are using target CPA and ROAS. Then you want to add a column of your target that you have set. Then you want to have another column on your CPA. Then you want to sort it by the gap, meaning the largest gap first to the lowest. Then do not make changes right away yet. That's the biggest thing. Do not make any changes yet until you have gone through these system first. You want to look at your conversion window, the last 2 to 3 of them, with at least one conversion in those campaigns. Then you want to match and try to see what your actual versus your target is, and you want to note that percentage. So if you have your actuals way higher than your target or higher than your target, you do nothing. If your actuals are slightly lower than your target, compare it with your business targets and your business goals. If it's hitting goals, then you can slightly increase your budget, or you basically just stay put. Last but not least, if your actuals are way lower than your target, then you want to raise budgets. That can be 10%, 20% based on your business goals. That's why I put a star there. It is not set in stone how much you want to raise, but you want to scale because it is hitting goals and your targets are just throttling your budget. So you do want to give it a bit of juice to get more and see what it can do for you. If you really want to scale it and just push this thing out to the moon, and you know that you are performing extremely well, then you can maybe lift it out and put it in max conversions. So that is just letting your budget determining how many conversions you'll get. And last but not least, if you have a lot of small campaigns, then you can consolidate them in one share budget portfolio. Last but not least, on the third step, is once you have set your new target or you have matched your targets, then you can slowly drive them down to see how far low you can get before breaking the campaign. So sometimes, because if you're bidding lower and lower, basically you're bidding less and less in CPC, meaning showing less in the auction. So do not make a big change in one big swoop by trying to cut it 40%. You want to go smaller. So around 5 to 10% per round, and in a few conversion windows where it's acceptable, then you can make that change. And you do not want to change the budget and the target in the same week. So if you're gonna change your target, let that sit. If it works out, good. If it doesn't work out, you may have to revert back. And then for your budget, the same thing. You just want to make sure that the system is understanding what you're trying to do, not both at the same time where you will lag or jag the system. With the system we just mentioned, there are also mistakes that you do not want to make. First of all is do not do this on a Sunday, August 16th. You want to do it way before then. Take the weekend off so you're in control, you're not freaking out the day before the change. Then you do not want to accept Google suggestions on any CPA suggestions that they're giving you because they're most likely not accurate. Then you do not want to make a judgment on data that is coming from yesterday or 3 days before. That's probably not very accurate of your business and your campaign as well. Then anything after the change, meaning the 17th to the 31st, most likely will be a transition period for this change. So some data may not be accurate. So you do not want to call it quits within 2 days after the change and say, Chucky, you suck. This is terrible. Most likely that is not the case because the CPA does need to used to with the new system. So do keep an eye on it for sure. I'm not saying don't make changes if suddenly everything is going really bad, but do not panic is what I'm trying to say. With follow-ups, you do want to have standing alerts for actuals dropping 70% of target or something that is out of the norm that you are witnessing, and you want to go back and work backwards on what went wrong. Regular drift audits, this actually become a lot more work than before. So before, because the target is throttling your budget, you know at least will either hit close to your target or lower your target. Now, because it will hit the target, you want to make sure that it doesn't drift way too far apart where it's damaging your business and your goals. And then you also want to watch for search term composition if you're wanting search ads and shopping ads. You want to see if your search terms are starting to go not the way that you want it, then you know something is not right with the targeting you're setting. Maybe you're hitting poor quality traffic. So then you want to make sure that what you're targeting with your bids and also your keywords and your search terms are still performing the way that you want it to be. So here's a timeline. So you want to do the audit the moment that you watch this video, which is tomorrow or today, maybe. Then you want to decide which campaigns you're going to make those changes on. Then you want to apply the changes the following probably like 7 days before. So that's on the 11th on 12th. And then you just do not touch it after you make that change. Okay. And you do not want to judge these data the week of the change. So the 18th to the 24th is most likely going to be an impact period where we don't really know what's going to happen with this change on the system. So hands off, don't panic during this period and let it do its thing. You can go back and review on the 25 to see if you are missing your shots or you're actually hitting your shots. With that said, now you can actually set the speed that you actually want to drive for each of your campaigns. The only difference is you need to pay more attention to your CPA, because if it starts drifting with a higher budget, that's not where you want it to go. So it does require a bit more work in keeping an eye out on your target. And if it does hit it, great. If it doesn't, make sure you adjust it. So if you want us to take a look at your Google Ads account and give you some action steps, click the link below for your free growth strategy session with us today. We don't just look at your Google Ads, we look at your overall business and give you some of your best moves to scale your business and take it to the next level. So click on the link below, get your time in, and let's get to work. I look forward to meeting you. Talk soon.